Welcome back to Steam Family Outdoors. Today we are going to be talking about why the 300 Winchester Magnum is the perfect one rifle solution for North America hunting. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. And if you're watching this video and you like the video, please consider hitting that like button as well. Let's dive right into this conversation on the 300 Winchester Magnum and how it's the perfect North American rifle by giving you 5 reasons. Reason number 1 is versatility. So when we look at the 300 Winchester Magnum and we talk versatility, we want to talk about the whole spectrum of where rifles get used at in North America hunting. Let's start with comparing it to 2 rifles just to drive this point home. First, we're going to look at a 22-250 set up for varmint hunting. And then next, we're going to look at a 375 H&H Magnum with a 300 grain bullet. And look at the differences between how the 300 Win Mag can stack up when loaded with the right bullet. Let's pull up the numbers on the 22-250. We can see right away, we're talking bullet sizes. We're taking the 300 Win Mag down in weight to 125 grains, comparing it to a 55 grain 22-250 bullet. Sectional densities, we're trying to get lined up fairly close. A little bit of an edge on sectional density to the 300 Win Mag, but we're really doing this to make sure we have a good apples to apples comparison when we're talking about these 2 rifle cartridges. We go to muzzle velocity. The 22-250 is pushing its bullet faster than the 300 Magnum, both really high velocities in this case, but the 22-250 has a noticeable edge, nearly 300 feet per second edge. But how does that translate into the trajectory? And that's the main reason that we want fast velocity in our varmint rounds, is to give us that really flat trajectory. So with 100 yard zero, we're seeing a 0.3 inch drop difference at 200 yards, and we're seeing drops of about, you're at 0.7 to 0.8 inches at 300 and 400 yards, kind of the max difference. So about 3/4 of an inch difference in drop at 300 to 400 yards. And finally, we get to 500 yards and the trajectories are the same. And past 500 yards, the 300 Win Mag with this bullet choice is shooting flatter than the 22-250. So in this case, the 300 Win Mag is overcoming the velocity with just a little bit higher ballistic coefficient on that bullet as well, a little higher sectional density, but we're muting that effect of the higher muzzle velocity of the 22-250 in this case, and getting a really flat shooting rifle with our 300 Win Mag compared to the 22-250. Now, we're not saying the 300 Win Mag is the new varmint rifle. It's obviously going to burn a lot more powder. It's going to have a lot more recoil than that 22-250. But when we're talking one rifle to cover the whole basis of what you could do in North America, the 300 Win Mag can, in a pinch, be quite the varmint rifle. Let's look at the other side and the other extreme and compare the 300 Win Mag to a 375 H&H Magnum. So in this case, we're looking at a 200 grain partition versus a 300 grain nozzler partition out of the 375 H&H. Again, similar sectional densities in those bullets. We get a significant velocity advantage this time in our 300 Win Mag. And the muzzle energy, which is really what folks want to look at when we're talking about a 375 H&H comparison and getting up into these high sectional density bullets for a hunting rifle, we're talking about how does it stack up from muzzle energy and really putting the hurt on a target. So there's no question that the 375 H&H has that edge of muzzle energy, energy at the muzzle over the 300 Win Mag. But when we start stretching it out to the first 100 yards, at 100 yard zero, that gap closes quite a bit. It's within 10% muzzle energy at 100 yards. At 200 yards, we close the gap even tighter, and we're still maintaining a flat trajectory. Trajectory, probably not the most important thing in this case. And by the time we hit 300 yards, the 300 Win Mag is putting more energy downrange than the 375 H&H. So again, if you're hunting with a 375 H&H and that's your preferred rifle and you're expecting close quarter shots, the 300 Win Mag can't quite replicate that exact scenario. But with a good bullet selection, there's no reason that you should scoff at the energy that the 300 Win Mag puts downrange, even when compared to a 375 H&H. You're definitely losing something when it comes to frontal area, but with one rifle to choose, the versatility of the 300 Win Mag comes on strong. So reason number one, versatility. The 300 Win Mag is an incredibly versatile rifle. Reason number two is it offers quite the blend of power and recoil in a rifle package. Now, no one is going to sit back and argue that the 300 Win Mag is a light recoiling rifle. There's no question that it does present recoil, especially compared to other rifles on the market. But when we start looking at rifles that are maybe more in vogue, like the 6.5 Creedmoors of the world today, the 300 Win Mag offers that blend of additional downrange energy, really power, frontal area that is significantly higher than that of a 6.5 Creedmoor. The 6.5 Creedmoor sure is offering a fine trajectory for what it is, and you can shoot high BC bullets, but you can't mistake. There's no replacement for displacement, as they say, and the case capacity of the 300 Win Mag, its ability to put heavy bullets downrange, maintain energy, while still not going overbore on the recoil, makes it a great balance and blend. We're not going too far to the other extreme that you see with your 30 Noslers or your 30 378 Weatherby rifles that have just a significant amount of recoil that comes with it. And I know a lot of folks might see this and think, gosh, a 30-06 is probably a better blend of downrange performance, power, and recoil than the 300 Win Mag. And you can make that argument. But it might not be quite as versatile, and especially when we get to this next point, it's going to lack. So the 300 Win Mag has the second reason, that balance of power and recoil, but the third reason where the 30-06 can't quite keep up is the 300 Win Mag is a proven long-range rifle and has been for some time. It's been used both with long-range hunting and long-range military applications, long-range target shooting. The 300 Win Mag has a storied history when it comes to target shooting at 1,000 yards plus. And for those who do hunt with longer range rifles, the 300 Win Mag has proven to be a long-range contender as well. Now, it might not be as popular as some of the long-range cartridges of today, like your 300 PRC, for example, or maybe quite as optimized. Popular is the wrong word. 300 Win Mag's incredibly popular, but probably not as optimized for long-range shooting as, say, the 300 PRC. But there's no stones to throw at the 300 Win Mag for being a great long-range cartridge, and the 300 PRC can start to lose out when it comes to having a bit more recoil and not being quite as versatile as the 300 Win Mag. So that's, again, if you could have that one rifle, that proven long-range rifle capability of the 300 Win Mag has to be at the top of your list. Takes us to reason number four with the 300 Win Mag and why it's a perfect one rifle solution for North America is ammunition availability. And I have a few examples here, and we're just scratching the surface. You can find the 300 Winchester in almost every sporting goods store. It's loaded by nearly every rifle manufacturer. You can find brass, you can find bullets. It's so available, and rifles are loaded with it as well. Any factory rifle, for the most part, you can find chambered in a 300 Win Mag. It's just synonymous with availability and long-term popularity. And when you want one rifle, having the ability to choose the rifle that you want and find the ammunition that you want to shoot is really important, and the 300 Win Mag provides that perhaps better than any other cartridge on the market. And that takes us to our final and last reason, and that is the 300 Win Mag also brings solid barrel life to the table. We're not talking about some of our very fast Magnum rifles that are getting us sub 1,000 round barrel life, especially if you have one rifle to shoot from. That might be a problem for some hunters. The 300 Win Mag, on the other hand, can get you to that 1,500, 2,000. Some will even say 2,500 round barrel life, depending on how you treat that rifle. So it offers longer barrel life, in addition to being a versatile cartridge, having ammunition availability, having long range capability, and this perfect blend of power and recoil. So there's a reason that the 300 Win Mag continues to be an incredibly popular rifle for hunters to choose and for rifle makers to chamber rifles in. So did I get it right? Is the 300 Win Mag the perfect one rifle solution for North America? Or do you have a different cartridge in mind? Please let me know down in the comments below. Again, if you like the video, please consider hitting the like button. And until next time, get out there and enjoy the outdoors.